This is the Arctic. This is Norway. This is where my grandpa lived, up in the mountains. And it took a few years, and I drove all over Norway, and I hiked up in the mountains all over Norway. And I did this by myself, and I learned what it's like to hike up in the mountains. And I learned that here I am, 200 miles, 300 miles north of the Arctic Circle, and it's September, and there's no snow, and it's actually, I can see the sun coming up in September at like 4 a.m. You can start to see the sun coming up because it's a totally different way the sun rotates. It's not like it's darkness from, it's not like December. In Norway, in September, it's not like it's December, darkness-wise, as it gets closer to the solstice. And so you see an equinox, whatever they're called. So I learned over several years that Trondheim, for instance, has much warmer climate than here in Traverse City, and we get much more snow here. So I'm posting on social media telling everyone that I'm going to be hiking to Trolltunga, and once in a while, and I'm getting people that are Norwegians and Americans that are leaving comments, and they're saying things about how, all sorts of stuff. Whether or not I should be doing that in March. Whether or not this, whether or not that, and of course, I don't know exactly what to expect, but I see a hike on social media called Trolltunga. This is before I even went to Oda. I see this hike, and I see young people going on this. It's about the round trip. It's about 18 miles, 38 kilometers or something. And I see younger people doing this hike, and I'm thinking, okay, it's March, it's a sunny day. I can read weather forecasts. There's going to be a trail or something that leads to it. I'm not going to fall through I'm not going to go wandering out somewhere else and fall through a crevice. I'm not going to venture up on some other cliff and get buried in an avalanche. This is a straightforward, follow the trail hike. If it's a clear blue sky and I'm running marathons, who would ever we're thinking that something could possibly happen if you think about it. So Trolltunga became this hike that I was excited to go on. But when I landed in Trondheim, if Jeanette did not send me a message or did not respond to me when I said, hey, when would you like to meet? Or if she said, I decided that I'm just not comfortable with this. If there was if that didn't happen, if that had happened, if she had sent that, it didn't happen, but if that had happened, I wouldn't have gone to Oda. And I wouldn't have gone hiking to Trolltunga, probably. Not on this trip. I don't know what would have happened exactly. But I knew that I was going to get crampons, spikes for my boots, poles to take this hike. I was excited. This is my trip to Disney World. I bought this for that hike. After Jeanette said that she was interested in meeting me, I went to a sporting goods store near Trondheim, and I bought spikes for the boots that I had pre-purchased, planning for a possible hike to Trolltunga. Winter hiking boots, because I knew I was going to be hiking in the winter regardless of where I went, because I was planning on hiking up in Lofoten with some definitive confidence. I was definitively thinking that, yes, I'm going to be hiking in Lofoten and up in the mountains if I don't go to Oda and meet Jeanette. So I had ordered boots that I was to pick up in Trondheim to prepare for any outdoor activities I was going to be taking. I wanted to get Norwegian boots. So I got a brand called Alpha. And they were the only boot that came in my size, 15, that I could find anyone that could supply me when I arrived. So the planning, as I was preparing to go to Norway in March 2018, I was posting on social media. You can say I was banging my drum and raising the expectations of people of what I was going to do before I'd even gotten there. But on one hand, it's also my way of having a diary and talking about things that I'm thinking about and being excited about something. Even if I'm in doing that, I'm also banging at my own drum. It's still what I'm planning on doing, and I wanted Jeanett to see what I was planning on doing. I wanted all the other people that followed me in Norway to see what I was doing. Part of me has learned that by posting things about what it is I'm planning on doing, sometimes people come forward with ideas or with suggestions that are positive and not always negative. But bottom line is that the one question that I had asked Jeanett from when I asked her, can we meet? And she said yes. From when I arrived in Trondheim and sent her a message and said, when would you like to meet? In the United States, I asked one question, and that was about to Jeanett, and I asked her, what's the story about Trolltunga?